we watch the news, we see stories that are horrific. We see death, we see dying, we see train crashes, plane crashes, car accidents. We see things that just make us so overjoyed to want to turn the news on. But there are also times where we see stories where a parent leaves a child unattended, leaves them either at a hospital or a police station, or sometimes in a locked car in a parking lot, while they ran in to do their shopping or to do their groceries, or one I remember while they went in to gamble at the casino. And every time I see those, I wonder, was there not someone their parents could trust with their children? Was there not somebody that their kids could go to? I know growing up, for me, anytime I wasn't happy at home, Mom wasn't making the right dinner, any number of things, Mom was angry at me, I would run next door to Fink's house. And I knew no matter what was going on, if I knocked on that door, there would be a smiling face waiting to welcome me in. That is what God is like. And what Jesus is saying this morning is that he is concerned because it is time for him to leave. And he doesn't know who he can leave his children with as he ascends to heaven. For 3 years, these people, these disciples, these followers had gone with him and listened to him and listened to his teaching. They were his children. And now, he was afraid that when the cat's away, the mice are going to play. He was concerned that they, his followers, would fall from the truth, that they would no longer hear and teach the word when their strong leader was no longer present. So Jesus prays. He prays to God, saying, Father, sanctify my people in the truth. He wants to ensure that the followers know the truth and are kept in that. Now, truth has many different definitions. In the Bible this morning, in the gospel, truth is the Word of God. It is what Jesus has taught to his followers. But there's another definition of truth that we get out of the Ten Commandments. That truth is lying, not being honest. Now, if you ask my son, it is never acceptable to lie. It is never acceptable to not tell the truth. But is that really the truth? Are there times where it is acceptable to tell the truth in order that someone else isn't harmed? In order that someone else isn't killed? If you have an angry person looking for someone, is it wrong to say that you don't know where that person is when they're sitting behind the couch or they're someplace else? Is that wrong? Maybe if it's your mother, okay, and you're trying to save your son, your brother's life, yes, okay, because siblings stick up for each other. But what about if it's something else? To me, telling the truth is important because if we don't tell the truth, injustices can be covered up. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a Second World War era theologian, said, "Silence in the face of evil is evil itself. God will not hold us guiltless. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act." Covering up the issues, not telling the truth about the issues that face communities and the world is not speaking. How many times have we heard that your actions speak louder than words? But sometimes our inactions also speak louder than words. We, as a society, try to cover up those things that we're not proud of. Many, many cities have outlawed homelessness and feeding the homeless. How do you outlaw homelessness? There's no place for them to go. There is hunger, oppression. There are things we don't talk about. All the isms of the world. Isms. Those racism, sexism, and all the other isms are things that sometimes we don't like to discuss. But yet, through all of these things, we cover up people's talents, we increase the fear of the other, and we have a disconnect among Christ's followers. Dietrich Bonhoeffer gave up his own life. He was executed by the Nazis 6 days before the camp that he was in was released by the Allies. He died because he felt it was better to assassinate or try to assassinate Hitler than to allow the atrocities to continue. The assassination attempt failed, and Bonhoeffer was found guilty of being an accomplice in that. But how are we accomplices in not telling the truth to the world? How have we fallen from Jesus' prayer to keep us in the truth of this world? At St. Matthew's, we do a lot to ensure that the isms and those issues are not swept up under the rug. In the month of June, the Interfaith Housing Network is here. We host them. We do other things. We have a group of young people outside right now washing cars. Because I can't guarantee your car will be clean, but they will be washed, okay? They're washing cars to raise money to go to Boston. Boston is a wonderful place. I'm sure a lot of you have been there. But we're going to be going to the places that are not tourist places in Boston. We are going to go work with homeless youth, with Asian American people, with just plain Asian people who are learning to speak English. Every night we will go to a different ethnic restaurant in order that the youth can experience different cultures and the foods they eat. Because what a better way to get through to kids than feed them. But all of that happens because of the things that we as a congregation do to support our youth. On that trip, those youth will learn about isms. They will learn about cultures and experience things that they have never experienced here in the Maple Glen, Willow Grove area, because it is different from their own life. So we are helping to spread the truth to our youth. We are modern-day disciples, called to negate the sins and the isms of this world. We are called to speak the truth as best we can and to honor all people. For we have not fallen from the truth that we speak against. Rather, we are sanctified in doing so. Because unlike that person who left their child unattended in the car, we know we have someone to watch out for us and for our children, that we are never alone, because Jesus left us in the care of his Father in order that we may trust our lives to him.